Bendiciones familia, Dios me los bendiga. Somos los pastores Huertas de la iglesia de NAS del Ministerio Hispano.
Mi nombre es Carlos Huertas y ella es mi hermosa esposa Sandra. On July 7 of 2015 with my family, we just came here, we dropped everything in this house and we just says we gotta go and worship the Lord. And as we walk to the lobby in the NAS, we meet with Pastor Mark and we tell Pastor Mark, here we are. Where do you need us? He says, do you need us to clean bathrooms? Do you need us to clean the church? That's what we are for. We started here in this house. Actually, before the pandemic, we used to even have 45 people in our house coming. We used to have the children in our basement and all the adult people in our main floor. We believe that God brought us here with a purpose. And we start looking for that purpose. What is that willing of God here for us in this time, in this moment? We start translating the services during the services at the NAS. But we always think there is something more. These people are missing something more. They need to belong to something where they feel like they can worship in their own language. That's what we were moving to. So literally I'm worshiping and organizing the basement, and here is a phone call from Pastor Dell. And that phone call from Pastor Dell says, you guys need to start doing Facebook Live. And I says to Pastor, how are we going to do that? I don't know nothing. And Pastor says, don't worry, I'm going to teach you everything that I know. So next day, here is Pastor Dell coming to our house. He dropped one stick for us to put the camera and says, here, you put it on Facebook Live and then you go. That's it. That was the instructions from Pastor Dell. So we start doing that during the pandemic. And when the government authorized the churches to start meeting with social distances, the Pastor Dell called us and says, you guys go live. And we were looking at each other and like, how are we going to go live? We don't have nothing prepared. We were not prepared. We don't have a worship team. We don't have nothing. We don't know how to do it. So he says, well, we don't know either, but you guys got to go live. And we did. We start going to the MPV with 15, 20 people on me. At the beginning, we don't know why God brought us here. Especially when, my wife says, I don't see that many Spanish people around here. 2015 was a year that marked us to be part of the NAS. And one thing that I remember is walking to the NAS that Sunday and looking at the playground. And I tell my wife one thing, it says, this church has a future. And this church focus on our children and these new generations. And that marked me because that's the future of the church, and that's what we are focused on families, how we can help families restore, how we can help people restore.
En Colombia nos hablaron mucho de Dios, pero nosotros no queríamos aceptar. Tuvimos que movernos para Nueva York. Y estábamos pasando por una situación como pareja y fue cuando empecé a buscar de Dios. En Nueva York fue que conocimos del Señor.
We don't came to this country as a Christians. We meet the Lord in this country. And after we give our heart to the Lord, we understand this country needs a lot of missionaries.
No se nos pasaba por la mente de tener este llamado, pero sabemos que Dios no se equivoca. Él tiene todo a su forma y hemos visto la misericordia de Dios a través de nuestras vidas. Y hemos aceptado ese llamado con mucho amor y le hemos dicho al Señor, nos aquí, que al igual como Él nos nos ayudó y nos ha usado, y ha sido por la misericordia de Él.
I'm so glad for the Lord what He did in our marriage. But I'm so glad to be part of a church and to have a partner like my wife to say, she has that calling too, and we are partnered up together on this, and together we are working and we are doing the willing of the Lord. Where I see things going with the Spanish ministry, we don't know. I wish I can have the magic word to say this is what's going to happen with the Spanish ministry. But the only thing that I know is that God is working. He's bringing people. He's bringing families. He's adding more people. And, I don't think He's stopping at any time.
Solo escucho la voz de Dios. Y como le he dicho a Él, heme aquí. Y estoy aquí para lo que quiera hacer el Señor en mi vida, en mi familia, en mi hogar y en la congregación.